Hollywood loves a good story. And what a story Bonnie and Clyde gave them. Their tale of crime, passion, and rebellion was practically written for the silver screen. In 1967, Arthur Penn's film Bonnie and Clyde, starring Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway, cemented their legend. It wasn't just a movie, it was a cultural phenomenon. It painted them as glamorous, anti-establishment heroes, a portrayal that captured the rebellious spirit of the 1960s. The film romanticized their violence, turning their brutal crime spree into a ballet of bullets and their final moments into a tragic slow-motion masterpiece. This Hollywood version wasn't just about telling their story. It was about creating a myth. It gave us the image we all know today. The beret, the cigar, the defiant stare. It transformed two of America's most notorious criminals into iconic, almost sympathetic figures. They weren't just bank robbers anymore. They were stars. This cinematic immortality is a huge reason why we're still talking about them. Not as the desperate criminals they were, but as the legendary lovers Hollywood wanted them to be. But long before Hollywood got their hands on the story, Bonnie and Clyde were busy writing their own legend. Quite literally. Bonnie Parker was an aspiring poet, and her poems, especially the story of Bonnie and Clyde, gave the world a glimpse into their mindset. It wasn't just a confession, it was a piece of self-mythologizing. She wrote about their crimes with a chilling sense of romance and inevitability, framing them as misunderstood souls pushed into a life of crime. This poem was published in newspapers while they were still on the run, turning their crime spree into a live unfolding drama for the public to follow. And then there were the songs from the folk ballads of the 1930s, like the one by Woody Guthrie, two modern tracks by artists across all genres. Their story has been set to music time and time again. These songs often focus on the romance, the ride-or-die loyalty, and the tragic end. They're anthems of rebellion. Through poems and songs, Bonnie and Clyde became more than just headlines. They became folk heroes, their story woven into the very fabric of American popular culture. So, why are Americans so obsessed with a story like this? It taps right into a deep-seated fascination with forbidden romance. And the outlaw archetype, think about it. Romeo and Juliet, Tristan and we love a story about lovers against the world. Bonnie and Clyde are the modern American version of that tale, but with a Thompson submachine gun. Their story is packed with everything we find irresistible: passion, danger, and a complete rejection of society's rules. They were young, they were in love, and they were on the run, creating their own world with its own moral code. This wasn't just a crime spree, it was a rebellion. In the depths of the Great Depression, a time of widespread poverty and distrust of authority, a pair of lovers striking back at the banks and the government held a certain appeal. They represented a fantasy of freedom and empowerment. However twisted, the story allows us to vicariously experience a life without limits. A thrilling escape from the mundane, And that's a powerful and enduring fantasy. This brings us to a fascinating moral puzzle. Why do we find ourselves rooting for the bad guys? Cheering for Bonnie and Clyde creates a strange conflict within us. We know what they did was wrong. They were thieves and murderers who caused immense pain and suffering. Yet we're drawn to their loyalty to each other, their defiance, and their tragic glamour. This is the paradox of loving outlaws. We admire their courage while condemning their actions. We romanticize their love story while knowing it was built on a foundation of violence. It's a testament to the power of a good narrative. Their story has been framed in a way that emphasizes the romance and rebellion over the brutal reality of their crimes. We are given access to their perspective through Bonnie's poems and their famous photographs, which makes them feel more human and less like monsters. We end up separating the lovers from the criminals, creating a mental loophole that allows us to appreciate the legend without fully condoning the reality. It's an uncomfortable but captivating space to be in, and it keeps us hooked on their story. So, why will the story of Bonnie and Clyde never die? It's because they represent something eternal, the allure of a love that defies all odds, even the law itself. Their legend is a perfect storm of ingredients. You have the historical context of the Great Depression, which made them symbols of rebellion against a failed system. You have the power of self-mythology, with Bonnie's poetry and their carefully curated photographs, turning them into media sensations in their own time. You have the Hollywood treatment, which polished their rough edges and turned them into glamorous anti-heroes for generations to come. And at the very core, you have a passionate, doomed love story and narrative that has captivated humanity for centuries. They are more than just historical figures now. They are a brand, a symbol of us against the world. Their names instantly bring to mind images of romance, danger, and a blaze of glory. As long as we are fascinated by outlaws, captivated by forbidden love, and drawn to stories of rebellion, the Ballad of Bonnie and Clyde will live on forever. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this dive into history's most famous outlaws, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.